Hello, my name is Emily and I am currently a crew manager at Kensington Fire Station for Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service. Joined the job as an operational firefighter back in 2017 and I was actually on the same recruit course as Vic.
My name is Vicky Grice. I am at City Centre Fire Station in Merseyside, which is a neighbouring fire station to Kensington. And like Emily said, I was on the same recruit course and we've remained friends since.
I guess the reason why we're here today to present is a lot in part down to Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service. Me and Vic and another friend climbed Kilimanjaro in February this year and we were raising money for our trip out to Uganda and raising money to help facilitate some of the ongoing projects over there. So we were able to put all of the information around our trek up Kilimanjaro on the intranet in work, which generated loads of donations from colleagues, friends, family, and AFSA made a really amazing donation and then asked us to come here to present. So it all kind of started with my mum and my stepdad. They went out to Uganda, a little village called Rubugari in Uganda, on a volunteer programme back in 2013. They were volunteering with an organisation called Big Beyond, and ever since then they've just remained engaged with the community. They've been out, they go out every 18 to 20 months. They've remained friends with a number of people in the village there, and I guess the main thing that's ongoing is a sponsorship programme for children to attend Hope School, and then there's various other projects going on within the community.
Yeah, so we've been to Uganda twice now, once back in 2022 and then again in February this year. So originally it started with Pam and Neil, who obviously were part of Big Beyond. They purchased land for the school back in 2017 and then the school was completed in 2018. And when did they start the sponsorship programme?
2018.
Yeah, so the sponsorship programme started at the same time. We now sponsor around 125 children in that school through family and friends and extended family and friends. There is a total of 300 children in the school, so we're always working towards sponsoring more and more as time goes on, spreading the word between, you know, our family and friends. There's also ongoing projects within that school. The most recent one is a new toilet block that's just being built, and we were there to kind of see the ending building of that. They currently had one small toilet block which they shared amongst 300 children and staff, which obviously is quite small, but since 2018 there's been introductions of nursery rooms. There's also been lightning rods installed. There's been various different offices, kitchens, things like that added to the school, and that's an ongoing project.
So sponsorship, I guess it looks like it's £10 a month. You transfer the £10 a month to Neil, and Neil collates all of that money together and sends it over to the contacts that we have in Uganda. It contributes towards school fees, it contributes towards uniform, it contributes to that child having at least one meal a day. Is it 2 meals a day?
2 meals a day, yeah.
2 meals a day. Obviously the maintenance within the school, and I guess initially it was a really small sponsorship programme between close family and close friends, and as time's gone on since 2018, we're now 6 years on from that, obviously sponsoring 125 people, it's kind of grown and grown and grown, which is amazing.
So at the moment, because it's non-profit and it's all kind of it goes through Pam and Neil, I did think they did try and set up something in terms of, you know, like an actual charity, but the logistics of it just weren't viable, were they? Yeah. So it's not to say that they wouldn't do it in the future, but right now it's kind of just not on the radar. Is it to do logistically? No,
I think it will be a case of just contacting myself or Vic. I'm sure our contact details will be made available. It's a very personal thing. Once you do decide to sponsor a child, you then get the details of that child. Pam and Neil will send regular updates. You get their school reports sent. You can be in contact with that child. It's very personal. Yeah. And it feels very real and like you are making a real difference. But yeah, I guess the way would be to contact myself or Vic, and we could arrange.
We're always kept up to date with children who are in need of sponsoring, so if anybody did want to sponsor, it's quite easy for us to get a list and pass that on to anybody who's looking to do that. Great. I think it's amazing to engage and network with people from up and down the country and with different views. The speakers are always great. It's always really interesting. Like, you get so much from them. The conversations that I've taken away from the last conference and brought back to Merseyside has been invaluable, really. And we've made changes off the back of hearing some of the speakers so far. So that's great.
I think it's important because it engages people from different services. I think a lot has been touched on today already about how everyone is kind of operating at a different level in terms of equality and diversity. So bringing people, I think is the 35 different services here today, bringing that many different services together and having conversations amongst each other can hopefully bring us closer together